All right, good evening. We'll call this meeting to order for the July 24th, 2025 Apple Valley City Council meeting. For any members who would like to, for any of the audience who would like to speak when your name is called, please approach the podium to address the council. First item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance, and I would ask everyone to rise and join the council in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The next item is to approve the agenda. And Tom, do we have any changes this evening?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. The only thing to highlight is a updated resolution. This is related to item 5B on your agenda. This is the bond sale resolution that has been updated as of this afternoon.
Great, thank you. With that, do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Grendall, second by Councilor Melander. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. The next item is our audience participation portion of the meeting. This is for items not on our agenda. We have a total of 10 minutes for this. Is there anyone who would like to speak to the audience participation portion? All right, seeing none, the next item is the approval of the consent agenda. These items are considered routine and will be enacted with a single motion unless a council member or a citizen requests to pull an item. We'll start with the council members. Are there any items you would like to pull from consent? All right, seeing none for the audience. All right, with that, we'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
A motion from Council Member Grendall, a second from Council Member Burton. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? All right, consent items passed. The first item on our agenda is 5A, which is Snap Fitness at 15115 Dove Trail. And looks like Sydney's gonna walk us through this one.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, I will be presenting to you the request for a conditional use permit for extended hours of operation of a Snap Fitness facility. Specifically, you are asked to consider a CUP to allow 24-hour operation of a health and fitness facility at 15115 Dove Trail. The site is located on the far east side of town, just on the Rosemount and Apple Valley border, just south of County Road 42, highlighted here in red. The site is within PD 629 Zone 4. PD 629 is made up of low and moderate density housing, as well as retail commercial that is meant to serve the neighboring housing. This is Zone 4 with the commercial properties adjacent to the residential properties within the PD. Within PD 629 Zone 4, hours of operation for projects that are within 1,000 feet of a residentially zoned property are prohibited from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. A conditional use permit can be applied for to operate hours in excess of those previously listed, which is what the applicant is requesting here tonight. I just want to go over a couple of the comments from the public hearing that was held at the July 2nd Planning Commission meeting that happened to be heavily discussed that night. So starting off with exterior lighting, the neighboring property to the west, a couple of residents came to the public hearing and did have concerns specifically over lighting, and the commissioners also had concerns over lighting as well. So on this image, I have the parcel highlighted in yellow, and then the red dots indicate where the parking lot lighting is. I do want to note that there is no exterior lighting located on the vacant lot in between the residential zoned parcels and the Snap Fitness facility. All exterior lighting is existing. It is not changing. It was approved as part of the CVS site plan, and the applicant is not proposing to add any more exterior lighting than what is currently there. I also just want to highlight that there is a screening fence on the west side of the vacant parcel. So there's a fence that runs here, and then there's another treated wood material fence that runs diagonally. You can't see on the image very well, but it runs diagonally here. And then again, another privacy fence here as well. Additionally, there is significant landscaping on the HOA property that does help to slightly screen from the Snap Fitness property. The exterior lighting consists of dual and single-headed downcast shoebox lighting fixtures. The single-headed fixtures are focused on the adjacent to the western residential properties. Any dual-headed fixtures are closer to the commercial properties to the east. So no light from the existing light fixtures is casted west towards the residential properties. Here's an image of the screening. So it consists of two different type of wood fence. The wood fence is broken up by columns of brick, and then in the middle, like I said, there is that diagonal treated wood fence running as well, and they are both 6 feet in height. The Planning Commission, like I said, did have significant discussion regarding those concerns. The city staff and the applicant did provide answers to the Planning Commission's questions as well as the public concerns. The Planning Commission, with those responses, recommended approval by a 5-to-1 vote of allowing the 24-hour CUP, subject to the following conditions. Deliveries and loading associated with the operation shall occur only during the hours of 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. All non-essential exterior lighting shall be turned off at 10:30 p.m. I do just want to note that the Planning Commission added the 10:30 p.m. to the initial staff recommended condition. They did not indicate a time of when the lighting could turn back on. So within the draft resolution, staff included the time of 6 a.m. and that was discussed with the applicant, and he is agreeable to that turn on time. So in your resolution, if you approve it tonight, it would be non-essential exterior lighting shall be turned off at 10:30 and then can turn back on at 6 a.m. Any modifications to the exterior lighting fixtures shall be submitted to the city for further consideration of approval. 3, the facility shall utilize 24-hour surveillance and emergency alert systems. And then 4, the CUP can be revoked if any of those terms are not adhered to.
Sydney, what would it take to revoke a CUP? Would that be a council action?
Correct. I'm
Have to come back
assuming
through.
we'd have to come back with some findings and then work through the process to revoke that.
Perfect, thank you.
That is a standard condition for all CUPs as well. With that, staff is recommending the following action, which would be to adopt the resolution approving the conditional use permit, which, like I said, does include that additional provision of the 6 a.m. turn-on time for the exterior lighting. And we do have an applicant here tonight, and I can also stand for any questions.
Let's start with any questions from council. Ruth, you were reaching before John hit his light, so please go ahead.
I just want to know what qualifies for non-essential lighting. What's in that category?
Mayor Hoopal, Councilmember Grendel, the main lighting on this specific site would be signage. So there's some signage, I believe, that cast onto the ground sign, and then any of the exterior wall signs that are illuminated, that would need to be turned off. All of the other site lighting includes parking lot lights primarily, which are counted as essential because they provide security to patrons going in and out.
So,
Councilman Bergman, excuse me, go ahead.
sorry for interrupting there. Sydney, so what you just stated was the parking lighting, that's not going off
That
at
would-
10:30?
Right.
Correct, that would stay on.
Okay, that stays on. So that was my question, because you said that there's lighting going off at 10:30. Then I was gonna ask you and the police chief, well, wait a minute, we got a safety issue because it's dark. So that, okay, that question is answered for me. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Council members, any other questions? Are we ready to take action on the resolution? So we're looking for a resolution, or to adopt a resolution approving the conditional use permit for the 24-hour operation of a health and fitness facility at 115 Dove Trail.
So moved.
We have a motion from Councilmember Bergman. Do we have a second from Councilmember Melander? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? That item carries. Thank you.
Can I ask a question after?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, how many
We have
people
time.
work out between 1 and 6 o'clock in the morning?
Let's have the applicant come forward. We don't need Sydney to try to answer questions on their business operations, so.
Between 1 and, I'm sorry, 6 a.m. was your question?
How many people actually utilize it during these hours?
25 on average, plus or minus 5, and it's usually the crowd that are starting their shift at 4 or 5 a.m. So between about 1 and 3:30, almost none.
You have a place to yourself, Ruth, between 1 and 3:30, it sounds like.
That wasn't my question. I want to know which activity was there.
Yeah. It's probably the morning, sounds like the bulk of it, right? It's the early risers on their way out of town or their way to work that are there. It's not the overnighters type of. Correct. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, that takes care of 5A. 5B is general obligation bond, Series 2025A, and Ron's going to walk us through this one.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. The city council set aside today for Northland Securities to receive bids on the 2025A general obligation bonds. Those bonds, approximately $29 million, is going to be used for the park referendum identified projects, and approximately $3 million is for the facilities capital improvement projects that were previously identified, which will include finishing the police operations garage building and planning, starting with the central maintenance facility. This evening, we have with us Tammy Umdahl from Northland Securities, and she has some positive information on the results of the bond sale this morning. So I'll turn it over to Tammy.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. Tammy Umdahl with Northland Securities, serving as advisor to the city on the sale of the Series 2025A bonds. Ron spoke to the purpose of the sale. I'll speak to the results of the sale. But before I do that, I want to note as part of the process, the city sought a rating from Moody's and S&P Global on the city's outstanding bonds, as well as the 2025A series. Both rating agencies affirmed the city's AAA rating, and I have a few comments or highlights from both of those reports I'd like to call out, and when I share the results of the sale, reflected in those two AAA ratings. Moody's affirmed the AAA, a sound local economy with above average resident income, ample reserves and liquidity. S&P affirmed the AAA as well. Strong operational performance, they note, robust reserves, an effective management team. With respect to the result, there were 12 bids received this morning. There was significant national interest, especially the size and the two AAAs. The low bid was from FHN Financial Capital Markets out of New York. The final maturity on the bond will be December 15th, 2045. There is an optional call that the city could call in the bonds early, December 15th of 2033. The bonds were bid with premium, meaning the underwriter bid more than the par amount of the bonds in the amount of approximately $1.4 million. That $1.4 million will be deposited into the construction fund. The final par amount, therefore, is unchanged at $32,450,000. That is in the resolution before you. The final interest rate at 4.1% true interest cost, which takes into account the underwriter's offering price and that premium. In June, when I was here for your meeting, when you set the sale, the estimated interest rate at that time, based upon market conditions and estimated, was 4.47. So that means that the cost to the taxpayers will be less as a result of the bond sale this morning. With that, Mayor and Council, the reason you have a new resolution in front of you as of this afternoon is because it was updated with the results of the sale this morning. Mayor, Council, I would be happy to answer any questions that you may have for me.
Tammy, thank you. Questions for Tammy or Ron?
It's great news.
Great
It
news.
is great news
on
for the
the
city of
reaffirming the
Rathbone.
AAA, all things going on.
Thank you, Mayor.
Great,
Council.
thank you. With that, we're looking for a motion to adopt a resolution providing for the issuance and sale of $32,450,000 of general obligation bonds, Series 2025A. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
From Councilmember Bergman, do we have a second?
Second.
From Councilmember Melander, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Item carries. Thank you. Ruth?
Mr. Mayor, I just want to thank
Okay.
Ron for still being here and helping
Yes.
us get through this again.
Yes.
Really,
Thank you.
thank you
Thank you.
Thank you for staying to help us out.
It takes everybody on the team.
I know.
It takes leadership too, Ron, so we're not gonna let you sell yourself too short on that one, so.
You do, Tammy did point it out that the Moody's and Standard & Poor's rating comments, which weren't as numerous as they had been in the past, but it really comes down to the strength of the management, including directions from the city council, and the strength of the reserves, which Ruth always points out is cash.
Yes. You get through a lot with cash, right? So, thank you both.
Thank you.
We'll move on to staff and council communications. Tom, I know we have a couple things. Do you want to jump in?
Sure, Mr. Mayor, thank you. We do have two. We'll start with our police chief, Nick Francis, bring us up to date on Night to Unite.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Reminding you and inviting you to the best night of the year, right? The largest crime prevention event of the entire year for public safety, police, and fire is Night to Unite. It is Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. A little bit different this year. We talked about it. We are going to have a little ribbon cutting and tour of the new police operations building. We will do that at 4:30. We'll do the ribbon cutting at 4:30 and then have a little opportunity to show you around, give a tour, and then we'll hold our briefing right out there. And then we will head out from that building for our neighborhood parties. There still is online registration. We're expecting right around 100. We've usually had right at from 95 to 105 or 110, somewhere right in there. As of this morning, we were in the mid-90s, I believe. And registration deadline is tomorrow, so there still are people that come right at the last minute to register. We invite them to do so. And so we'll have city council, police, fire, and department heads all visiting parties. Just a reminder to the community, we are doing our annual school supply drive. Folks typically will bring school supplies to the party, and then whoever organizes that party gets this information as to where to drop it off. This year it's going to be at Falcon Ridge Middle School. There's drop-off dates and times. Everybody that has having a party is getting this flyer in there so they know exactly where to go to drop off all of their school supplies. We're also having our annual chalk art contest. We supply all the neighborhoods with the different chalk art or with the different chalk, and they go at it. There's a few different categories from 3 to 6 year old, 7 to 10, 11 and up. And then folks do a good job submitting that to the police department. We have a voting process here at the police department, and then some awards go out to the neighbors. That's been really fun going around, and sometimes they don't even enter them in, but it's been fun driving around. And if the weather's right and you don't get a lot of rain, you see that chalk art for, quite a while around town. So, so that's pretty good. So, I'll stand for any questions. Otherwise, we'll see you. This is from, I think, last year, at Wallace Park. You might be familiar with that park. And, that's one of our bigger parties and, always a highlight to stop by. So, any questions?
No, I'm just looking at faces in the picture. So, yeah. Any questions for Nick? Nick, thanks. I know for your officers and our firefighters, right, it's a little extra shift that evening to come in and do that, and we appreciate taking the time to do those things.
Yep, it's a lot of fun. Thanks. We'll see you soon.
Tom, back to you.
Yes, last item would be our city clerk, Christina Scipione, wants to talk about a volunteer opportunity.
Yes, Mayor and Council, we are currently accepting applications for a spot on our Cemetery Advisory Committee. Those applications are due on August 1st, and it is a 2-year term to fill a term that was recently vacated by a former committee member. Anybody who's interested in applying for the position can go on our website, and it's right on our homepage, the application and the information about the committee.
And Christina, I believe unlike some of our other committees, if it is someone related to that industry, they don't necessarily have to live in Apple Valley. Is that the case?
Mayor, that is correct.
Thank you. So August 1st for those interested in the Cemetery Advisory Committee. Anything else from staff? Council members, anything? All right, we will move on to the calendar of events. Our next informal city council meeting is Thursday, August 14th, 2025 at 5:30, and our next regular city council meeting is Thursday, August 14th at 7. Do we have a motion to approve the calendar?
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Councilmember Grandal, second from Councilmember Melander. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And then do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Okay.
Motion from Councilmember Bergman, second from Councilmember Grandal. All those in favor? Aye.
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 All right, thank you, everyone. Have a good night.